Yo, 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 it's your boy Casual Real with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight into it. August 16, 2025, we saw an old dog, an old veteran, take a hard loss in the sport of boxing. A tough loss to an up and coming prospect, and now a contender who is showing that he may be the goods in the likes of Moses Itauma. Dillian the Body Snatcher White, this old veteran, he took that hard loss, a first round knockout, quick, fast. And it's a rough knockout because many started to believe in the return of Dillian the Body Snatcher White, and his weight drop, getting down to 241 for that fight, and some of the best shape he's been in over a decade. And to see him get really just outclassed, out muscled, out hustled, and the speed advantage was even more clearer. It left many to question what is left of the likes of Dillian the Body Snatcher White. What can he still do and prove in the sport of boxing? As we saw this dismantling of this old veteran, this old fighter, many became sad. You've seen the likes of Derek Ward in his after interviews and saying that he's actually sad to see such an old warrior like him go out, that old school, that old guard, as they called it, get beat the way that he did, especially against a prospect who is now again turned into a contender. A man that's only 20 years old really showed that he is levels above many in the heavyweight division at this point, not just Dillian Whyte. What can the body snatcher do? What is left of him, right? Many are calling for the retirement. Our personal opinion here, I think retirement is still a little bit too early. Styles makes fight in the sport of boxing. I think many of us have forgot about that. This young man, this young warrior, and the likes of Moses Itauma, this 20-year-old who was already fast, has a good speed advantage over most heavyweights in the division, but especially with the likes of Dillian Whyte. It proved key. It proved to be the king of the night. It proved to be the one thing that really separated them far and far apart from each other. That style matchup, the way that Moses was able to change his levels in that fight quickly, again, that speed, changing his levels and getting around the guard of Dillian Whyte, and more importantly, Dillian Whyte's lack of proper defense, and really I contribute that to some of his possible nervousness in that fight. And he's never been a great defensive fighter to begin with, but let's get into that, where that style matchup was just bad. He was ripened for the picking, me and Dillian Whyte. That was just a bad style matchup. I think Dillian still can give a good go against many of the mid-tier fighters in the heavyweight division. Yes, he is longer in the tooth and he's on the decline of his career, but to say to retire just because you walked into a fight that, A, he was already expected to lose. You look at the betting odds, many expected you to lose, maybe not that quick, but it went the way I guess you would expect it to go, especially when you match these two type of styles together. Take this loss as a learning lesson and get back on that bike. I think Dillian Whyte still has about 2 good fights left in him, maybe at least one for sure. I don't think you should go out on that type of loss, especially to a loss that quick, first round knockout. No man, no warrior wants to go out like that. I think there's still enough good fights out there for you to at least get another one off and get you a victory out of the game, or at least a close fight where you should have a standing chance and maybe take it all the way to the cards and let the decision fall where it falls. I think he has a better chance of doing a decent showing and let the sport of boxing remember his name a little bit better than what happened August 16, 2025. That's just our opinion here. Now, if he comes out and says he gave it his all, he is done, he depleted himself, respect to that brother. He's had a great career and right off to the sunset. But just looking at his face as he walked out, you can see that he knew he had more left in there. He just made a miscalculation. Maybe underestimated the likes of Moses Itauma, or maybe overestimated and got too tight, too nervous, and threw the game plan out the window. But with that said, I think the body snatcher has a good chance to get back into this and at least get a good one off and ride off into the sunset with a victory or at least a close fight that goes all the way to decision. You still got the likes of Joe Joyce sitting out there. That should be a good scrap for them. Both brothers really need a good fight, a good showing. Both men are good warriors. That would be a decent scrap. Should have happened in April this year, but injuries happen. So that's a fight that's still on the table, right? There's some other low key names, low key fights that could be out there. I mean, if he wants to get crazy, get out there and get with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He needs a fight as well. He needs a good name to get back into contention or at least to ride off in the sunset. Yes, Deontay just got him a victory this June, but again, that was a very low tier type fighter, just something to get him back in the game, get him back in that win column. These two brothers can get it on. There's Andy Ruiz is still out there. That might be a good fight, a good scrap. He could take on the winner between Gerald Miller and Michael the Hitman Hunter. That's about to happen on the Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford weekend. There are still some decent fights with okay threats. Decent names, but not huge threats. And definitely some of those where the styles match up a little bit better, especially in the speed category. We'll leave you with this. Many clowned him. Many are obviously heartbroken and many saddened by the loss that happened to him August 16, 2025, first round knockout. But the overreaction, in our opinion, here to retire is premature, I should say. A true warrior wants to go out on the shield, go out in a better way than what happened August 16, 2025. And I think Dillian still has that warrior spirit and has a good chance to get a good fight with a better style matchup that fits where he is in his career now, to at least give us a better showing and let the sport of boxing remember the body snatcher and remember that warrior, remember Dillian Whyte in a better light. That's our opinion. Hit that like button, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. I appreciate that love. Let us know what you think. And as always, peace.